Hello, and thank you for all the work you're doing on drug repurposing, and thank you to the organisers too. You're really addressing a gap which is created by the pharmaceutical organisations on the issues of patents. And my name is Amir, Amraie, and I'm a pharmacist by background, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Crowdfunded Cures. And what we're working on is a new system which is designed to incentivize the repurposing of off-patent drugs to create new uses for these old drugs through a pay-for-success contracts to incentivize clinical trials. The problem we have is that the pharmaceutical industry does not fund generic drug repurposing trials due to the missing incentive in the patent system. And these are usually not always commercially viable because it's difficult to enforce monopoly prices. And there's also problems with reformulating generic drugs as well, and there's also problems with method of use patents, where physicians and pharmacists can prescribe these drugs off-label, and pharmacists can often switch in the cheaper branded generic. And we also have problems with formulations as well, which tend to be sometimes less effective than the previous models, such as, for example, generic racemic IV ketamine to treat resistant depression. It costs around less than 10 euros. And is arguably more superior than the branded alternative, which is S-ketamine, which costs around just under over 10k per dose per course. So the solution that we've developed is using advanced market commitments, AMCs, which are a financial innovative structure where a payer agrees to pay for the successful outcome of clinical trials. And this advanced market commitment then allows sponsors and researchers to then work on new drugs. And then once a successful outcome is reached, which is then adjudicated by independent CROs, and the criteria is met, then what happens is this AMC is triggered, and it allows for the researcher to be paid for the work that they do. It allows for, it de-risks the process for researchers, and de-risk the process for the government payers. We also have a novel alternative structure of de-risking clinical trials for sponsors, and it's using a interventional pharmaceutical design methodology which funds the cost of randomized clinical trials, where this works by the price difference between what a patented drug costs, such as IV racemic ketamine, such as S-ketamine, which costs around 10k, and the difference with the generic cost, which costs around $2 per dose, and this price difference can then be used to then pay for these clinical trials. And for so long as the price difference is greater than what the generic drug costs, then this effectively makes the cost of clinical trials effectively free and de-risks this not only for the government payers, but also for the researchers who are investing in these clinical trials. And it's a double de-risking mechanism. Other types of pay-for-success contracts includes social impact bonds, which Rick was talking about this morning, and as well as the subscription style payments, which are used for antibiotics, which pay pharmaceutical companies to then work on antibiotics. Beacon also proposed the generic drug repurposing SIB in 2016, which Rick just mentioned this morning. So how AMCs work is that as I mentioned, the payer signs an advanced market commitment with us, and then this allows for these cost savings to take place. And then the sponsor raises these funds with investors if it's reached, the outcome is reached, then the sponsor is paid. If the clinical trial fails, then this is not reached and the sponsor does not lose the money. This is how it works. So effectively, it's de-risks the mechanism, and the price saving is then paid back into to the payers. And this allows for a risk transfer mechanism where the risk is then placed in the market and reduces bureaucracy. It provides better technology as pharma companies and CROs have better access to market-leading tools and expertise. And it allows for a free market to work on these clinical trials, and it enables better scalable cost savings as well. And these are some other problems that we have with pork barrel politics and the various different issues that there are.